He just cannot accept that that is the reality that college football is in right now. What's up, everybody? It's Trey Smith with College Game Time, back at you with another College Game Time video for the old YouTube channel. Today, I'm getting into this Pat Narduzzi and Deion Sanders beef that is heating up. I think it exposes a double standard right now in college football. But before I get into it, please hit that like and subscribe. And then after the video, leave a comment. And then after the video, share it with a friend and just get the word out about the College Game Time YouTube channel. We are bringing you content left and right. Right now in the month of June, I'm bringing you 30 videos, okay? 30 videos. You can count them. 30 days, 30 videos. It's coming at you. So let's get into this thing, man. I'm going to start off by going back a little bit in time when Pat Narduzzi made some comments to 24/7 Sports. And here's the quote that he said. And he's referring to Deion Sanders and his use of the transfer portal. That's not the way it's meant to be, Narduzzi told 24/7 Sports, 247 Sports. That's not what the transfer portal rule intended to be. It was not to overhaul your roster. We'll see how it works out, but that to me looks bad on college football coaches across the country. The reflection is on one guy right now, but when you look at it overall, those kids that have moms and dads and brothers and sisters and goals in life, I don't know how many of those 70 that left really wanted to leave or they were kicked in the butt to get out. Sorry. It says, I don't know how many of those 70 that left really wanted to leave or they were kicked in the butt to get out. In other words, forced out. I get what Narduzzi is saying to an extent. But here's the part you have to remember. Deion Sanders was 100% transparent when he took that job with his players, how it was going to be. If you don't want to compete, and if you are not good enough, you need to find somewhere else to go. If you do not want to compete, you need to find somewhere else to go. The thing is that Narduzzi is still scorned over Jordan Addison leaving a year ago to go to USC. Like, he has just not gotten over that. He's kind of starting to remind me of the movie Acrimony. If you haven't seen it, like, I'm not promoting it or anything, but it's got Taraji P. Henson in it, and she's the wife of this guy who's basically a bum, and she just sticks with him. And then when she finally puts him out and kicks him out and breaks up with him, he meets someone else, and this invention he's working on becomes like this billion-dollar empire. And now, like, Taraji goes crazy because, like, this person that was hers is now off to bigger and better things with someone else, and she just loses it and goes crazy. And that's kind of what Pat Narduzzi's doing. Like, he's so scorned right now by Jordan Addison leaving his program via the transfer portal that, you know, last year he's calling Lincoln Riley. He's saying that he got recruited with an NIL deal and blah, 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 blah. And he just cannot accept that that is the reality that college football is in right now. Whether you agree with it or not, it is where we're at. But now he's coming for Deion Sanders. It's like he just can't let this thing go. So recently, Deion gives a quote in response to Narduzzi where he states, what was his situation when he came to Pitt? He had a different situation than me. And Sanders is referring to the fact that when Deion took that job at Colorado, they were 1-11. They brought Deion in to win. So yeah, he overhauled a roster utilizing the legal avenues he has to overturn a roster that went 1-11. This is Division I football, people. Sanders said, he is not mad about me. He is mad at the situation in football now that allowed his best player to leave a year ago. He's not mad at me. Deion's 100% right. He's using me to shoot bullets at another coach who he has an issue with. I don't know who he is. I love this. If he walked in here right now, I wouldn't know him. And I can just hear Deion saying that so chill too. He's like, who is this guy? Like, if he walked in the room right now, I wouldn't know who he is. Who is he? Who is he? So a couple of things I have on this. First off, I know there's a lot of people that agree with Narduzzi, right? That the transfer portal and NIL and all that's ruining college football, especially right now when the regulations are very gray, right? NIL regulations, man, it's a different rule in every state. I'm going to make another video probably this week in regards to the fight that Saban is fighting as far as with the federal government needing some federal regulations. Because I actually agree with him on that. If you knew how muddy and complicated the infrastructure was right now. But aside from all of that, the fact that he's continuing to just spew venom, talking about Narduzzi now, in whatever direction, every opportunity he gets, when it's obvious he's still just that angry over losing his best player, as Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, said. So I think about another coach, though, who feels exactly how Pat Narduzzi does, but they're handling it completely differently, and that's Dabo Swinney. Dabo Swinney has been very clear about his stance on NIL and transfer portal. First off, he barely uses the portal because he obviously doesn't believe in it. And anytime NIL comes up, he's not just out here spraying venom, but whenever he's asked about it and it comes up, he's very adamant about his stance. He's standing his ground. He's not letting anything sway him. But what is Dabo Swinney doing? Is he out shouting down, tearing down other coaches in college football? No. You know what he's recently done? Signed a couple of five-star players out of high school. He's gotten right back to doing what he does believe in, and he's doing it better than anybody else. That's what I wish Narduzzi would do. Okay, quit just shouting this horn that's obviously rooted at this just frustration and anger for something that happened a year ago, and get your focus on what you do believe in and then go to work. And quit tearing down other guys who think and believe differently than you, who are utilizing that to their advantage. Take what you believe in and use that to your advantage, like Dabo Swinney. Now, I get it. Swinney's built something special at Clemson, okay? And he's had some very tremendous amounts of success in recent history, but it's not about that. It's the principle of the matter. And then here's the other thing I want to say on Deion Sanders, because I feel like he's getting unfairly bashed, not just by Narduzzi, but by just national media in general because of his overhaul. First off, Lincoln Riley did something very similar a year ago with USC in overhauling their roster, and he was praised all winter and spring for it by national media. Okay, and then the other thing I want to say about this is the fact that the reason why I don't have a problem with what Deion Sanders is doing or what he's done, whether you agree with the transfer portal or not, is the fact that he was open, honest, and transparent with his players from day one. And even heading into the spring game, he was open, honest, and transparent with the media.
That's what spring is for. Now we can assess the talent and make the proper adjustments from the portal shortly thereafter. And I love that because there's going to be a lot of talent in the portal shortly thereafter to garnish. Change has to be provoked, and that's why we're here. If it was great, I wouldn't be here. We just got to find the type of kids that are who we are, and we will, expeditiously. But I don't want them to get misguided, because what you see is not what you're going to see. You heard that? What you see is not what you're going to see, okay? And that's a loaded response. You all know that we're going to move on from some of the team members, and we're going to reload and get some kids that we really identify with.
That's what's mind-blowing to me. Literally, every time he met with the media leading up to Colorado's spring game, he was very clear. This will not be the group you see in the fall. There will be a lot of different players in the fall than what you're seeing now. Don't get too attached to what you see on Saturday. Don't get too attached to what you see in the spring game, because it will be different in the fall. I mean, I think he said it 5 or 6 times. Then the spring game happens. Days afterwards, there's this mass exodus. And everybody's like, what's going on in Colorado? What's happening? What's Deion doing? Blah, 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 blah. It's like, actually, if you've been listening to him since he got the job, he's doing exactly what he said he was going to do. And so if you're going to get mad about that, Those same people getting mad and throwing stones at that better have been throwing stones at Nick Saban 10 years ago when he reignited this gray shirting trend. To me, that's worse than what Deion's doing with the portal. At least those guys had chances to go find other places to play. Gray shirting is you have a guy who thinks they've got a scholarship, and then at the last second, oh, hey, we need you to delay the fall season and sign on in the winter. Basically losing a whole, not just season of being able to play and reps and things of that nature. You don't have a scholarship, you're not enrolled in school, and you're not doing anything with the team. So I'm fine with you having a problem with how Deion's used the portal, but you better have had the same problem with how Saban was using his gray shirting 10 years ago, and really the whole SEC eventually throughout the 2010s, 2010s. It's kind of died down as of late with the transfer portal. And you also better have had an issue with what Lincoln Riley was doing a year ago, because he did something very similar. He turned that roster over pretty quick and was praised the whole way. So I'm curious to know your thoughts. I think it's kind of funny how Deion responded to Narduzzi. I also think it's kind of funny how Narduzzi is still on this just like revenge tour for losing Jordan Addison. I understand. That's a heck of a player, and he lost him, but anyways, let me know in the comments. That's it for me. Appreciate you for watching. Peace.